Hi. So today's title is Influence, the Psychology Behind Every Yes. Have you noticed how some people get agreement so easily from guests, from teams, or even bosses, while others keep pushing and still hear no? In today's book, Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini is modern classic on why people say yes and how you can use that power ethically in leadership, in business, and in daily life. Hi, this is Rahul, and this is your book reviews under 5 minutes, where we unpack books that help you lead better, not only in your real life, but yes, in your kitchens, in your professional business life. Our focus today is Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion by Robert B. Cialdini, a social psychologist who spent years observing salespeople, marketeers, and negotiators to decode the patterns behind the human decision making. Why should we listen to Cialdini? Good question. Cialdini is not just giving opinions. We have to understand here that he has backed up his ideas with experiments and real field work of research which has gone into it. He has embedded himself with sales teams, fundraisings, organizations, and marketeers to see what actually works when people try to persuade others. Not just sounds good in theory, but in real life. For anyone who's in food, QSR, or hospitality, this book is gold because every day you are influencing. Maybe for a guest to try a new dish. Another way is like asking teams to follow a new SOP, stakeholders to buy a new menu or a format. Different scenario, different walks of phases. There are 3 big ideas which I would like to talk about from this book. The first big idea is the social proof. When in society people see others doing the same thing, Cialdini says that is the first powerful principle of a social proof when people are unsure and they are looking what others are doing. You must have seen this, you must have experienced yourself. In restaurant, that is why chef special boards really work. Most order today tag drives the trials in customers. Reviews and ratings can change traffic overnight. To use this social proof ethically, highlight what's real customer already love. For example, our guests keep coming for this biryani again and again. We can use these terminologies. Share an honest numbers. Over 1,000 people ordered this dish last month. You are not forcing a decision. You are reducing the uncertainty so that someone can do a right choice, a right option for themselves. The second big idea out of this book is reciprocity. When I say reciprocity, it means people turn generosity, which means when someone gives us something, we are having a natural pull to give it back. An example which comes to my mind over here is a small complimentary starter, a sincere follow-up message after a bad experience, sharing a useful tip or a recipe with your team without expecting anything. That is very important. Cialdini shows that even small and genuine gestures can help create a feeling of obligation, not in a manipulative way, but as a part of human nature. In your world, that could mean in examples like offering a free tasting starter of something which has not come into the market yet and you are going to launch it, giving your team members an open credit when they do something right. Another example which comes to my mind is people remember who treated them with respect and generosity. So these are a few of the examples when reciprocity actually helps, which means returning the favor. Big idea number 3 is commitment and consistency. A small yes would lead to a big yes. The third big principle is commitment and consistency. Once people take a small stand, they like to behave in line with it. For example, one of the things which comes to my mind from the hoteliering point of view is when a guest picks up your loyalty program, they are more likely to return to the same program. Similarly, there is another example which I would like to quote here is when a team member publicly commits to a standard that they would like to follow that standard operating procedure or that particular standard, there is more chances of that consistency and commitment. To use it ethically, start with small and easy commitments. Can we try this new prep method, maybe for a week, and then review it without being judgmental about the other scenarios? You can also ask questions, then invite people to define themselves. Do you see yourself as someone who wants to grow as a leader here? That is a good question. You can ask that with your teams. When people say yes to small and meaningful steps, they are more open to a bigger journey. And we should ensure, as leaders, as a part of a person who's playing the same game, how can you start using this book? This book over here can be applied to apply influence maybe this week. One easy option which you can see is social proof. The moment your guest journey starts, on your menu, in your kitchens, mark 2 or 3 items maybe. Guest favorite, most loved this week, and then you can see what happens. You will see a repeat orders of those. But make sure that you keep it honest. And keeping it honest will also bring more trust to you rather than a doubt. Second thing is what you can do is practice the act of deliberate reciprocity. When we reciprocate, there is a small surprise of a regular guest with a small extra dessert which comes to their table, or a little upgrade, or maybe that handwritten note which comes with the thank you note. For your teams, start sharing a resource or a personal shout out with no immediate ask attached. Create one small commitment ritual. That's the third point. And with the commitment, I would say, ask your teams, define one behavior they would like to commit this week. For example, it could be no food waste. On-time station setup is another thing. 1 guest conversion per shift. Things like that would eventually help you to grow your business, to grow yourself, to grow the overall scenario. Review it openly at the end of the week. Reinforce the consistency. This week, maybe each day, if it was not good, maybe 2 or 3 guests have come back to us. Why don't we do and repeat it next week? So 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2, maybe you get a compounding impact. Leading teams and when you need buy-in without shout out. So that is a very important thing for leaders these days. How can you help your teams without shouting out? Running a brand or outlet and want to understand why guests behave the way they do. These are some of the integral parts which you will learn out of this book. Interested in marketing, negotiation, or a human psychology? It is all driven in a very practical way and a story-driven way in this book. On a scale of 5, I would rate that the practical persuasion tools which are given here get 5 out of 5 straight away. The storytelling And the examples are maybe around 4.5 out of 5, but they're very clear, memorable, and often surprising to know. Reread value. That's how you go back to the book, that it becomes a reference for you. Over there, again, I give 5 out of 5. So you can design your campaigns, your pitch, and your team conversations. With this, if I have to review influence which helped you, hit a like, subscribe, and share it with one person who wants to get better at leading, selling, and simply being understood. Because in these scenarios, being understood becomes a very big communication task. Tell me in the comments, which principle do you use more? Is it social proof, or is it reciprocity, or the commitment, and how it changed your results overall? Drop in your recommendations for the next book you want in this series, especially around maybe psychology, persuasion, or maybe business of food. Links to influence and the audio version of this show is available on Spotify, Apple Music, as well as Amazon and other podcasting formats. Please go ahead and click them and subscribe. Thank you. Signing off, this is Rahul. Bye-bye.